For 52 years, the Samuels family distillery in Loretto, Kentucky only made one thing, Maker's Mark. But in 2010, they broke tradition with a brand new bourbon, Maker's 46.
Most new products come out of the marketing department. With 46, the team at the distillery early on agreed that the taste profile would have to be unique to what we do at Maker's Mark, but could we make something a little more amplified, a little more robust, and add in spice?
After numerous attempts to get the taste just right, COO Rob Samuels says the distillers finally hit the literal and figurative mark. And like their original brand, they are using so-called ambassadors to get the word out.
What's so special about being a Maker's Mark ambassador?
Well, for the first 30 years of the Maker's Mark brand's life, from the late 1950s through the middle 1980s, the only brand fans or consumers that were interested in bourbon with good taste, interested in Maker's Mark, were all in Kentucky. And thankfully, consumers beginning in the middle 80s outside Kentucky expressed an interest. And the way that we've always connected with folks is to have these folks come down to the distillery. We invite them to get their name on a barrel. We have events at the distillery. We have events. I was at an event just last week in San Francisco. But it's a way that we foster strong bonds and relationships directly with the distillery. And we invite these folks to become ambassadors for the brand.
Now, Maker's has traditionally been an old school maker of bourbon. What about new technologies? What about using the internet to get word out there about Maker's 46?
Outside the distillery, we embrace technology. At the distillery, the Wall Street Journal once quoted that Maker's Mark is a model of inefficiency by choice. So all the labels are printed and torn by hand. Each and every bottle is hand sealed in the signature red wax. We're the only distillery in the world that rotates barrels to ensure product consistency, but it's people that make Maker's Mark. So at the distillery, we're tied to the traditions and the craft that delivers our taste profile.
And while Maker's 46 adheres to the best practices of the past, Samuel says the future of the bourbon industry is bright, and not just in Kentucky.
This is actually, I think, the best of times for premium spirits, and that's truly my grandparents' legacy, is back in the early 1950s. While they were way ahead of their time, they did invent premium bourbon. For the first 30 years, it was really only successful in Kentucky, and since then, interest has grown coast to coast here in America. And what's even more exciting is that in the global economy, in leading cities all over the world, the next generation of consumers are interested in bourbon with good taste.